Hello, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend. It's kind of cold, a little bit snowy here, but otherwise, hopefully, you had a good day off. We are a little bit behind, so we need to catch up, and hopefully, this video will help you do that. The first thing we need to do is let you know that we've got some group assignments coming up, so I'm going to explain those. And I changed the due date. What normally would be due at class time on Monday at 11:30 at class is actually going to be due at midnight, so we can work on it some during class, because you will need to work at some groups. And if you can get together as a group before class, that's great. I know that might be difficult for some of you, so we'll squeeze it together a little bit so we can make sure we get everything done. But I assigned you to some groups. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. So first off, welcome back again. This is my weekend. My son's going on has started a service mission, so we went through the temple on Saturday. So there's my daughter and my wife and I there at the Rexburg Temple, and that was a lot of fun to do. And there we were when my son got set apart as a missionary. So that was a fun weekend, and we had a good time doing that. And he spoke in church, and my sister seems to think that my son Max looks like I did in high school, so you can do the comparison. I think he looks better, so hopefully he's not too offended that she said he looks like me. But okay, so last week assignments. So we set up some acquired accounts. We did our honor code review, the content topic area, completed your All About Me screencast, and then some problems and questions. The problems and questions specifically are going to be helpful to you as we start working on our assignments for our content we're going to be making in groups. So we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Okay, one of the assignments over the semester is what we call tips and tools demos. So on tips and tools demos, everyone will be assigned a day over the semester where you create a short 1 to 2 minute demo of something related to digital media, content creation, content marketing. And I'm going to show you an example. So here in my, I didn't open it up, so I'll open it up here. In my Substack account is how you're going to do that. So let me open that up. So what you'll do is you'll create a video, a screen capture, just like you did for the All About Me screencast. And here's an example of a tip and tool demo that I created. Hello everyone, this is an example of a tip and tool for the Comm 320 class. So each week we'll have at least one, sometimes 2 or 3 people show us a tip and tool, something that has to do with digital media content creation, whether it's marketing, whether it's a tool, actually a piece of software, an app. This one actually is a resource, and that's just fine to share as well. So the resource I chose to share with you today is called The Tilt. And the reason I'm sharing it with you is because we get a lot of the materials from our class from this particular organization. In fact, when you've been working on your content tilt, finding out about your... Okay, I'm going to pause right there. So I posted it on my Substack, and then you'll take the link from your Substack, and you're going to post that actually right in the assignment. So you go over here and go down to the tip and tool right here. And then you'll post your link to your video down here. And it's in a discussion board format. So you click in here and copy and paste that. In addition, you want to have about a 1 to 2 paragraph description of whatever that particular thing is. So when I say tips and tools, it could be actually a piece of software. It could be like I showed you, a great resource, a website, something like that that you can share with us. So you'll pre-record it. Make sure it's about 1 to 2 minutes long. You post it, and at the beginning of class on the day you're assigned, we'll watch your video. Typically, we have 2 people per day. Now, one of the challenges is that it doesn't show up on your calendar because that would be a due date for everyone. So you're going to have to mark down the due date that you have for this particular assignment. So we can talk more about this next week because the first one isn't due until February. So there's our list. February 5th, we got Robin and Camry, and you can see the dates as we go down. And so we can talk about this again on Monday, but just be aware of this assignment that's coming up, and we'll talk more about it on Monday. Okay, this week we have 2 quizzes that are part of HubSpot, so hopefully you set up those accounts. We have one on blogging and one on visual content, and we have 2 assignments that are groups, content topic ideas and creating persona. So I'm going to talk about those and show you which groups you're in. Then the setting and logo, simply in Substack, you can do some logos, icons that show up on your website, and I'll want you to create those, and those are pretty simple, and I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, so let's get to this HubSpot blogging quiz and visual content quiz. So here's how it works. On HubSpot, they have lessons, and this week, again, we're going to do one on blogging and one on visual content. The best way to do it is go ahead and go to the HubSpot Academy, so you click on there and log in. And once you log in, it'll look something like this. You're logged in, you've got your name, and here's the HubSpot Academy. So the easiest way to find the lessons that we're going to be working at is go ahead and go to the assignment here. So I'm going to go back over to the assignment, and here it is, HubSpot blogging lesson quiz. This one has 2. Here's the lessons: creating quality blog content your audience loves to read and share, and how HubSpot uses blogging to rank #1. So just go ahead and copy that lesson title. I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and I'm going to go back here to the Academy, and I'm going to paste that here on HubSpot Academy. And there it is: creating quality content, blog content your audience loves to read and share. So open that up, and they all look like this. It's got the lessons over here on the left. So if you click through them, then the different videos pop up, and then you can watch through those. This gives you the total watch time. However, there's a couple of things I want to share with you that will be very helpful to you. Down under the video, you'll see resources. Go ahead and click on that. And you can download the word-for-word transcript of the video. And I like to do that because then I can go through and read and highlight things that I like, and easier for me to remember. And then also, you'll see the play speed here. You can bump it up to 125 to 150. I'm pretty comfortable watching at 150 because it goes through pretty fast and it's not too fast. So 200 is a little chipmunk-like, so be wary of that. So as you go through these lessons, then there are quizzes after the fact. So go ahead and go through the lesson and then take the quiz. It's open book, so you can have the video open, you can have the transcript open as you take the quiz. But these are really designed to give you some great information. The first one about writing blog content, how to structure it, how to put it together. The other lesson on this one, let me go ahead and skip back here, is about visual content. And this will be helpful as you create your visuals for your Substack site. So there's 2 of these. Again, they're pretty short. Designing and building graphics and graphic design principles and best practices. Those of you in Visual Comm, this will be a review. Others of you, this will give you some great basic insights on those. So again, copy that, designing and building graphics. Go back to HubSpot Academy. I'm going to go back here and paste that in the search bar, and there it is, designing and building graphics. And on this one, it asked me to go ahead and enroll, which you'll need to. It's all freebies, of course. Then you go ahead and watch it through, and they're all very similar.
Understand the design goal for your project.
Okay, anyway, and you see how that works. So that's what that assignment is. So just so you're aware, that one there are 2 lessons under HubSpot this week. Okay. Next one, content marketing. A couple of things I want you to remember. We are really into creating informative and educational content. We're not really directly promoting anything like come on down, buy right now, do this. We want to give information that people want. And it's kind of like this. Let me show you this brief video.
They're always getting those spam calls and they're trying to sell you something and they always seem to call it like the worst time possible.
Yes, hate it. Surprised they aren't interrupting us right now. Hi, is that what you do for work?
No. What? No, I do inbound marketing.
Huh?
Instead of telemarketers calling to interrupt you in the middle of dinner, I create content that people are actually looking for.
I would find you instead of you calling to interrupt me.
Nailed it.
Got it.
Are you eating a bowl of gravy like it's soup?
Okay, there you go. So here's the big key. Content marketing indirectly attracts and acquires leads and customers. So we do that by providing them with information that they really want. All right. You might be surprised, but longer blog posts work well in content marketing. Not like 10 pages long, but about 1,000 to 1,500 words. And you can think about why that might be, because people are coming to find information that they want on how to do something, how to better understand something. So a short blog post that doesn't really give them the information they want is not very desirable. So it's got to be engaging, it's got to be consistently good, and it's got to fill a need, provide some sort of information for a pain point or a need that our audience has. Okay, a couple other things. Normally in our social media, we just kind of post on our Instagram or whatever, whenever we want, but that's not the way it works in content marketing. So it's not random, we plan it out, and we don't always get to write or create content about something we love, especially in your first jobs out of school. You might be creating content for a business and you're not really interested in the product, but you need to be able to talk about it in a positive way and do some research. So we're going to get some practice with that. And it's also not writing about anything that comes to your mind. Everything is planned with a purpose. We have a goal in mind. And for us, we're trying to get people to subscribe to our content. Okay, the other thing is it's a planned strategy. It's supposed to bring about certain results. If you go to work for a company and you just post all the time, but you never measure, then it's going to be a problem. You need to make sure there are particular results you're trying to get. So we need to think about all aspects when we're creating content. Who's going to read it, who's going to watch it, why, and how it's going to impact them. All right, so you've been assigned to a team that you work together with for the remainder of the semester. So I'm going to show you your teams and what I'd have you do. Hopefully, check out under the people section on Canvas, and you'll have the names and also email addresses, and I'll send this out to you as well so you can get in contact with your team. Again, there are 2 group projects. Again, I didn't make them due at the beginning of class on Monday, but at 11:59 at night, almost midnight at night, so you can have a chance to work on them in class and then sometime during the day. Okay, so here's our groups. No, that's not a right group. Here's our group for Monday. So we have in public relations, Emily, Skylar, Bailey, Colby, and Camry. You're a public relations group. Visual communication 1, we have 2 groups. One is Robin, Nathan, Kelly, and Ethan. Visual comm 2 is Kira, Brooklyn, Soraya. And our video production group is Maina, Linda, and McKinley. So your basic goals on each of these are to create content for an audience that is college-age students who want a career in communication that want to go into these particular areas. Okay, so that gives you something to start with. All right, we're always looking for a niche, right? We don't want to send messages out to everybody. Messages made for everybody typically don't have much success. So we want to narrow it down for very specific subjects that we're going to become authorities on. So in each of your groups, you're going to become the authorities on people who want communication careers in video, social, or visual communication, and or public relations. We're going to narrow that topic down. I'm going to show you some tools to how to do that. And we're going to create blog posts, videos, newsletters, etc. And it's going to be a lot of fun, actually, to create a lot of content. We're going to do some part as a group and part as individuals. This one is a group project, so you're going to need to come up with some ideas for content. So this is what this is designed for. So I'm going to go through this, and then you'll need to do this on your own, and you can connect as a group and put this together. Now, let me tell you that all the group projects, then I have each individual turn it in, but each member in the group should turn in the same thing, if that makes sense. So if there's 3 of you in a group, each individual will turn in the assignment individually, but you've collaborated on it, so I should see the same thing from each person in each group. That makes sense. That just makes it easier, so you're not relying on one person to turn it in, and I know you collaborated on it. Okay, so here's what you do. You open up Google and you type in your topic. Let's say it's visual communication. And then type in visual communication, put a space, and type in an A. And you'll see that what Google does is brings up some search results. So let's go ahead and type this in, visual communication. Then type in A, and you'll see visual communication and sign language and design, arts, analysis. So you can see what people have been searching for with the initial keywords visual communication. And then go ahead and type in a B, and we can go down the whole alphabet. Visual communication, board, book, biology, business. You can start getting an idea when people are looking at visual communication, when they Google it, what kind of things are they actually searching for. So you can go down the whole alphabet if you want and kind of see what's going on there. Okay, so that's the first step. The next one is go ahead and put in video production, video or public relations, whatever your topic is. Go ahead and hit enter. Now you're going to get some results, but we want to look at a couple of things. Look at people also ask. So when you type in visual communication, then people with that keyword also ask these questions. What is the best example? What are 5 characteristics? So this can start to help you to see what people are looking at when they Google visual communication. And you can start to come up with some ideas about content that you can create around that topic. If you scroll down a little bit more, you're going to see down here at the bottom related searches. So these are searches related to visual communication that people have looked for. Interesting, degrees and courses. So you can kind of see what people who are Googling visual communication, what else they're looking for as well, kind of thing. And then this last one, let's see what else we got down here. I think that's all we're going to look at. Okay, so that gives you an idea about using those particular tools just with Google to see what people are looking for. So that's the related questions, and the first one was just going through the alphabet and see what shows up. Okay, and also we looked at related searches, so now we know what people are looking for. So we did all those. So go through these steps. The next one, we want to go to Google Trends, and that's a really cool tool, and you may have used it before. So go ahead and Google Trends, or go to trends.google.com. Got to type correctly. Trends, not trims. Oh my goodness. Got icons coming up. There we go. Okay, go ahead and go to Explore. This part right here. So now add a search term. Let's stick with visual communication. Okay, let's go ahead and enter. So what this shows you, one, here in the United States over the past 12 months, this is all categories, not specialized, overall categories. For web searches, how frequently that web term has been searched for. Now what we don't know is exactly what this graph means as far as numbers, but we do get an idea that it's got a lot of searches. Now let's look at first what we can find. It shows you interest by subregion. So where are people actually Googling this term? So in Kansas and other places. This is related topics. This shows you some rising related topics and some related queries. So these are things that come along when people Google for visual communication. You can also look, instead of rising, you can look at top. So what are the top ones? And these are ones that come up a lot. Okay, you can do that same thing on the related queries. Okay, you can see what those are. The other cool thing that you can do is, say there's another term, you say, oh, visual communication, what else is there? Maybe there's something like visual, let's do just design. And what we can do now is compare these two terms, and you see, oh look, visual design gets a lot more searches than visual communication. Very interesting. So you can kind of see how that goes. And you can also expand this out. This is the past 12 months. Well, let's pull this out over the past 5 years. And let's look. And let's see, we got some peaks and valleys, interesting. And then you can kind of see, what are the peaks? This peak was in, let's see, September 2020. This peak was in April. This peak was in October, January, December. So I'm not seeing a really clear pattern here, but you can kind of see the interest over time. So that tells you that as far as search terms, maybe you see visual design, more people search for that term than they do for visual communication. And you can go down here and see comparison, again, of regions and related queries for visual communication and for visual design. Oh, that one didn't show up. Not sure why. We have to reload that one. Anyway, so that's a good one. What we're doing here is looking for what are terms people are looking for surrounding your particular topic area. And you can start to get an idea of what are some things that I can create content about around those questions. Okay, so that one is, again, Google Trends. There's some others you can look as well. We looked over Google Trends and we went through this one. So there's some other tools like WordStream, and I'm not going to open this one up. If you go to WordStream, you can type in your same term, visual communication, visual design, video production, public relations, and it's going to give you keywords that show up when people search for those terms, how much monthly search volume they get, how much it would cost if you wanted a top of a page bid. We aren't going to worry about that one too much. But the competition you'll see here is low for gluten-free/D, but gluten-free foods, now that one has high competition. So if I'm searching for, trying to get the top of a search engine for gluten-free foods, then it's going to be tough competition. It's going to be hard to do. But that's something that a lot of people are looking for. On the flip side, rice gluten-free has had low competition. So I could probably show up in that search, but not many people are looking for it. So there's the trade-offs. You kind of find the balance of how you can compete with that. This last one I'll have you look at is called Answer the Public, and it's a really cool tool. So on this one, again, you can put in your topic, and then it gives you all kinds of cool ways of looking at it. This one, I was working on a topic of gluten-free, and it gives you some who, what, where, why, will. For example, will gluten-free diet help arthritis? And it gives you all kinds of things that you can look at here. And these are probably all great topics for perhaps a blog post or video or something like that. Okay, so great tools. So what you want to do as a group, go through those and find some answers to the questions, or at least find keywords and topics that people are asking about. Then here's the assignment. So what I want you to do is, number one, in this assignment, again, this is your whole group does the same assignment. Each one puts the information in individually. So what's your content marketing topic? You know what that is. It just got assigned to you. So visual communication, video, or public relations. And then based on your research, then you're going to come up with 5 subtopics. Now this part was just for in class, but 5 subtopics. So here's an example of subtopics if my main topic was gluten-free diets. So what is a gluten-free diet? Who should follow a gluten-free diet? So if yours is visual communication, that might be something, it could be example. What exactly is visual communication? Does visual communication, what visual communication courses lead to jobs, or whatever happens to be, whatever you found in your research as you're looking for. Because our main goal is, again, our target audience is communication, people going into communication careers, and specifically in the area that you've been assigned. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next one here. So you're going to come up with your main topic, 5 subtopics, and then find 5 keywords that show up all the time. Now, keyword's a little bit of a misnomer because a keyword doesn't have to be a single word. It can be a phrase. For example, here, gluten-free diet list, that's a keyword that shows up a lot. So, for example, if I'm writing a blog post, that might be something that I put in a couple of times. What's your best gluten-free diet list? So again, think about this with your topics and find 5 keywords that show up. And we're trying to find keywords that show up a lot because we're going to try to incorporate those into our content. Okay. And our last bit is, because we aren't experts in this area, we need to find information from experts. So we need to branch out a little bit, and we're going to find, for this assignment, 5 credible websites that you think are credible sources to get information about your topic. So you need to look around and find them. This would be sources you'd go to, and you'd actually cite them in your content of great resources for, whatever it happens to be, video, visual, public relations. Okay. So if we go back over here to our class, and you'll see down here, here's the content topic ideas assignment. Then under that assignment, it's got all the same information that you just saw in this presentation. So I'm going to scroll down here to the very bottom. Don't let me get you sick there. So these are the instructions. So share your assigned content marketing topic, share 5 subtopics, and think of those as like topics for a blog post for 1,000 words or so. List 5 keywords that show up all the time. You could use a WordStream keyword tool, use what you found in Google Trends. And then the last one is search for 5 websites that are really credible sources that you can go to, and you know that they're credible, that they're reliable places that you can go for information. Okay, so that's that assignment. Okay, just a reminder that it's really important to know who your target audience is. So now we picked some topics, we have some content areas. Now we really want to target on who we're making content for. And so that's important. It helps us to publish content that's relevant to them and use the language that they use. And so we're speaking their language. We fit in with the group. Okay, so user persona, buyer persona, fictional profile of your ideal customer based on marketing and audience research. So it's an imaginary person who embodies the most important characteristics within your broad audience. So let's take a peek at some of these things we're going to find here. We're going to look for demographics, psychographics, behavior trends, values, pain points, affiliations. And we're going to use a tool to do this. Again, this is a group assignment. So what I'm going to have you do is use your group as a focus group. There's 3 or 4 of you in each group. You're going to discuss each of these different areas. So we're going to use a tool. It's the SEMrush Free Buyer Persona tool, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. But as part of going there, you're going to see some information it's going to ask you to collect. So get together as your group and talk about, okay, so if our content is for college-age students who want to get into communication careers, very specific into public relations, visual communication, video. So what's the age group we're looking at? So again, discuss it with your group. Is it mostly men, women? Does that matter? Talk about that. Where are these people located? And then we're not just talking about BYU, Idaho now. We're talking about the United States, basically. So is there a location? Are these more metro, rural? Does that matter? Family status, are they single, married, that kind of thing, and does it matter? Level of education probably does matter, because is someone going to graduate? Are they a freshman in college? So you probably need to determine what the age group is and what education level that they have. The next part's, again, pretty straightforward. So these are probably mostly students, but they don't necessarily have to be. But also, they probably also have part-time jobs. So do they have a part-time job? What area are they going into? If they do work, is it remote? Is it in office? If they're going to school, is it online? Is it at home? And keep in mind that student is a job title as well. Okay, and income is really important. So if we're providing information for free, that might be a really big attraction, right, to someone who doesn't have a lot of budget. This one's the hardest one, but you can imagine why this is important. We need to get inside of people's heads a little bit to see why they do the things they do. And if we're in class today, then I would ask one of you, why are you taking this class? And typically it's kind of a 5 or 6 why question sequence. So they're taking the class because they want to learn how to do digital social media. And I say, why? Because they want to get a job in digital social media. And ask them, well, why do you want to get a job in digital social media? And there's lots of reasons. It could be because I want to earn money. It could be because I love that area. And we keep going deeper and deeper. At some point, we usually get to a point where, it's their values. I want to get this job because I want to have a career in this because I think it's the best way I can provide for my family, or I think it's the best way that I can get ahead or be successful in life. And so then we're getting really at the values that people have and their belief system. And so if you can get at some of those, then you start to really understand why people do the things they do. So have a good discussion on that with your group. The last one is really important as well. It's where people go for their information. And as a group, you can kind of discuss this. So what are your preferred websites or blogs that you go to all the time? What are your favorite social networks? How do you use them? Are there influencers that you follow? And what's special about them? What kind of content do they have? And then maybe some favorite events or conferences that are available that you know about. And again, this are things that your persona would be interested in, where they go, what kind of things they do. This one is probably, of all of them, this is how we're going to come up with our content ideas. What are the things that inconvenience them? What are the obstacles? I want a degree in communication, but I can't make enough money to pay my way through school. Or I really want to go into video production. However, I'm worried about the stability of a career and making enough money. So all those things, the dissatisfactions, what information can't I find about being a PR professional? So you find the frustrations, and then we find answers. And that's the thing. If you can find an answer to a person's question, if you can help satisfy them with something they are dissatisfied with, then we've got something there. We're trying to solve their problems, make their pain points go away, find answers to their questions. Okay, so this is what the tool looks like. And I'm going to go to the tool right here, actually. This is an example of one that's finished. So this is the buyer persona tool. Looks like this. It's a freebie. You don't have to pay anything. So click on create your free buyer personas. Now it doesn't let you upload your own picture. You've got to choose your own. So I'm just going to choose one, and let's pick this woman right here. And I recommend you use a user persona template. Okay, so let's do a user persona template. Okay, so there's the picture, and you can go ahead and change the name here. Let's see if it lets you change the name. No, it picks a name for you, and that's okay. What you can change here is the demographic information, age, location, family status, and you can add new fields if you think they're important, or delete some if you don't think they're important. Okay, here's a brief bio of that person, and if I go back here, you'll see a brief bio of Danny here. Danny is a health-conscious millennial, is trying to keep his energy levels up and maintain a balanced diet while taking care of the environment. That's a bio about this guy. So you decide a little bio about your persona. And you see frustrations, pain points, jobs to be done. What are they trying to do that they're not able to get done? So on here, they've got frustration, pain points. Oops. They've got motivations. They've got under communication. This is where they go to find information. There's a second one here. That's Mrs. Clark Grimes. Again, here's her demographic information, her pain points. The quote is simply, if you were, if that person were talking to us, what would they say? That's a direct quote for them. Now you don't have to do that one, but it's kind of fun. Okay, again, so that basic information. So add to, take from, as you discuss as a group. So what you do on this one, after you get all done, go up here to save and share. So what I suggest is that you collaborate as a group, but only one person do that together, so you're not all trying to type in different ones, and then one person kind of be the scribe. When you're satisfied, everybody's happy, go ahead and copy this link, and then you're going to turn that in on the assignment over here. So that's the one. Let's go over here to the modules. This is the persona assignment. Create a persona. Okay, so here's the links to those. Here's the links to the free buyer persona tool. Then I go over these same things we just went through in the slides. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and submit that. So click on the assignment, and you're going to turn in that link. So paste that in. Okay, make sure the link works before you turn it in, and make sure everyone in your group has that link, and everybody turns in the same link in your group. Okay, so you don't have to create a new one. Okay, if you have questions on that, let me know. But all of our group assignments, typically I have everyone turn the assignment in, but you all turn in the same assignment. Okay, so just make sure everybody's involved. Okay, one last assignment to share with you. So you've all created a Substack, and this one's pretty easy. So what I want you to do is on your Substack, you're going to create these little graphics that show up. You'll see here's the content here. So these, as you go to your dashboard, then under the settings, it's going to have a place for you to load up those square logo here, a word mark, and a cover photo. So make sure you follow the dimensions and then use the information from the visual content lesson you took in HubSpot. Just make sure nothing's stretched out, that the letters are readable and all that kind of stuff. It's not a really visual medium, Substack, but these are important. The first time somebody goes to your website, it automatically takes them to a landing page. It's got your logo and asks them to subscribe. So you want to make sure it looks good. Okay. So that's that assignment, is to create the logo and cover photo for your Substack. So what you'll do is just go ahead and turn in the link to your Substack. So if I go back here home, so dmcc320substack.com, we get rid of that. That's the link you turn in, and you can see, I can see those across the top. And that's all we're looking for. Not looking for, winning awards, just that it looks good, it's readable, and it meets the message of your content. Okay, and there they are again. Okay, final tips. This takes time. And now we're the class period, or class semester, then we'll have to learn how to manage our time well to create the content that we want. But we're also have the advantage of working with a group to help us brainstorm together. So what we'll be doing for this assignment, we've got the 2 group assignments, and in the future, then we'll be creating blog posts, video, other things, and those will be individual assignments. So in other words, you all decide that you're going to write blog post on the 3 topics or 4 topics, if there are 3 or 4 in your group, and that'll be an individual assignment. Then later we'll repurpose those assignments for something that you'll create as a group, like an ebook, where you combine all of your information together. Okay. All right, well, that's it. That's the end of what we got. So, it's certainly not September 20th. Wow, where'd that slide come from? Okay, well, looking forward to seeing you guys again. It's been a long time. Because we only meet once a week. But we'll see you on Monday. And we'll have time on Monday to talk more about the persona and also the assignment for coming up with your content topic ideas. Please try to get together as a group before then so you can connect. And I will send out also the group listings, and you can find people's contact information under the People tab on Canvas as well. So, all right, that does it. Have a great week, and I will see you on Monday.